check this out. So Sandra Birchmore was, this situation is very, very sad. She was a young girl who basically was involved in working with some people in the police community in this city near where Karen Reed actually resides. There are connections in this case to Karen Reed, not Karen Reed specifically, but a lot of people who were involved in Karen Reed's situation. Sandra Birchmore was sadly found deceased in a hotel room or in an apartment. And the reason this is strange because there was a police officer who was alleged to have been with Sandra shortly before she deleted herself, is what's being alleged. Now there's been an indictment released. There's a man who's going to stand on trial for her murder because there was foul play in this situation, even though she was found suspended from the ceiling. I want to say this in the right way. It's alleged that there was a reason behind this. So we've got some more updates when it comes to this case, give you guys more of a clear layout of what's going down. And then we're actually going to get into some of the updated charges in this situation as well. Check this out.
A former police officer accused of killing a young woman and staging her death to look like a suicide has been hit with a new charge.
That's Matthew Farwell. He was already facing a federal charge for the death of Sandra Birchmore, but the new accusation involves the unborn child Birchmore was carrying when she died.
So sad.
Ryan Kath of the NBC 10 Investigators is on it. He joins us in studio with more. Ryan.
And Glenn, the stakes are high in this case. Farwell could receive the death penalty if he's found guilty in the case. Prosecutors say just weeks after Birchmore told the former police detective he was the father of her unborn child, she was dead. Farwell met Birchmore when he was the leader of a youth explorers program at the Stoughton Police Department.
Disgusting.
He's accused of grooming Birchmore and having sex with her when she was as young as just 15 years old. Police found the 23-year-old dead inside her Canton apartment in 2021. It wasn't until 3 years later that the FBI arrested Farwell, accusing him of killing Birchmore and staging her death to look like a suicide. The new charge relates to a federal law that protects unborn children. We asked our NBC 10 legal expert about the timing of adding this new charge so many months later.
This is not a new development. So the idea may be that they're trying to put additional pressure on him to plead to the original charges or to this charge as well in order to save his life or in order to get a more beneficial arrangement.
Wow.
Reached out to Farwell's attorneys and are awaiting a response. His case is currently scheduled for trial next October. Ryan Kath, NBC 10 Investigators.
And y'all know we will be here covering it. Shout out to Amy because she's been covering this at length over on X as well. If you don't follow Amy, make sure you do. Follow her on X at IAMYLEIGH on X. That's Amy Lee on X. She posted about this and gave us the full document that we're going to get into in the full indictment here shortly. But what does Amy say? Matthew Farwell faces additional charges in the death of Sandra Birchmore. A federal grand jury on Tuesday filed an additional charge against a former police officer or police detective accused of killing a young pregnant woman whom he allegedly began exploiting at the age of 15. In a superseding indictment, the grand jury charged Matthew Farwell, 39, with killing the male fetus Sandra Birchmore was carrying when she died on February 1st of 2021 at her apartment in Canton. What? I'm not going to get into the whole pro-choice thing, but I think it's interesting that someone can be found. I won't go there today. The indictment marks the first time authorities have identified the gender of the unborn baby she was carrying. Birchmore was 8 to 10 weeks pregnant when she died. DNA testing has excluded Farwell as the father of the unborn baby. What? And it's unclear whether federal investigators have established paternity for the fetus, which means someone else may have been involved in this. The new indictment maintains the original charge against Farwell of killing a witness. Federal prosecutors allege Farwell strangled Birchmore to prevent her from revealing that he had initiated a intimate relationship with her when she was a minor and had continued the affair into her adult years, sometimes meeting her for intercourse while he was on the clock with the police department. He has pleaded not guilty and is being held without bail at the detention facility in Rhode Island. The charge of killing a witness is eligible for the death penalty. The U.S. Department of Justice must render its decision about about capital punishment in the case of Matthew Farwell by January 20th. His trial is to begin next year on October 5th. Birchmore met Farwell through her participation in the police department's youth program known as Police Explorers. Jeez. Hey, yo. She joined the program when she was 12, prosecutors told the indictment says. A few months after Birchmore was found dead, Norfolk District Attorney Michael Morrissey and the state medical examiner's office declared her death a suicide. No criminal charges were filed. Then last August, the FBI arrested Farwell and accused him of killing Birchmore and staging the scene to look like a self-deletion. In 2013, federal prosecutors alleged Farwell committed a certain type of assault with Birchmore when she was 15. The allegations are bolstered by texts between the two that are a part of the record. Their contact or intimate contact continued into Birchmore's adult years, and she discussed wanting to have a child with him, a married father, officials have said, citing the text. Federal prosecutors allege Farwell began plotting to kill Birchmore after one of her friends called the police headquarters on January 20th of 2021 and told a department employee that Farwell and Birchmore were having intercourse. Oh my God. The employee told Farwell about the call, the FBI said. Farwell was the last person to see Birchmore alive on the evening of February 1st, 2021. A video camera in the lobby of her apartment building captured him entering and exiting the apartment, excuse me. Doesn't make sense. We've seen the video before. Why he wouldn't think that there would be a camera there. Who knows? Maybe he snapped. Maybe it was a crime of passion. Insane. Minutes before Farwell departed, Birchmore's cell phone, described as a friend as a third hand because it was such in constant use, stopped moving. It says motionless until its battery drained and her body was discovered 3 days later. So let's get into this actual indictment. It's not too difficult to go through. It's pretty straightforward and explains everything that's happening here, right? We've got the United States versus Matthew Farwell, and this is a superseding indictment at all times relevant to this superseding indictment. The general allegations between or about March 27th of 2012 and on or about April 1st of 2022, defendant Matthew Farwell, he'll be known after as Farwell, was a sworn officer in the police department in Massachusetts. In his capacity as a police officer, Farwell also served as an instructor for the Police Explorers Academy, which was a vocational educational program for local youth. The Police Explorers was designed to enable youth participants to learn about law enforcement careers. Sandra Birchmore was born on May 1997. In or around March 2010, Sandra Birchmore applied to be a participant in the Police Explorers. At that time, Birchmore was 12 years old. She began participating in the program in and around the spring of 2010 and remained in the program through and in 2016. Prior to, in or around 2012, Farwell was a Police Explorer volunteer. He became an instructor when he started working for the police department in 2012. Before Birchmore attained the age of 16 years old, Farwell engaged in intercourse and other acts with Birchmore. Farwell's intercourse with Birchmore continued until around early 2021. Goodness gracious. That was a long time. The police department required employees, including police officers, to accurately report their time and attendance in order to receive wages and overtime. During some of the shifts when Farwell was supposed to be performing his duties as a police officer, he was instead engaged in intercourse with Birchmore. He failed to disclose that information to the police department, and he took, well, obviously, what are the things going to say? Hey guys, I'm going to see Sandra. I'll be back. Quick lunch break. And he took steps to conceal his conduct from the other department employees. In or around 2020 of December, Birchmore learned that she was pregnant. Birchmore told Farwell that he was the father of the child. On or about January of 2021, Birchmore's friend called the police department and told the police department employee that Farwell had been having intercourse with Birchmore. Shortly after, The police department employee told Farwell about the call. On or about February 1st of 2021, Farwell killed Birchmore by strangulation. Shortly thereafter, Farwell staged Birchmore's Canton, Massachusetts apartment to make it appear as if Birchmore had committed self-deletion. Canton, man, what y'all got going on? And this is just what we know about. At the time of Birchmore's death by strangulation, she was pregnant and carrying in utero an unborn child. Are they unborn childs or are they fetuses? What are we doing here? Is it a fetus or is it an unborn child? I tend to believe that it is a fetus and that this is a living, breathing person that has a life, and that is a life, not just a clump of cells. The law is so confusing these days. And again, I don't want to go this pro-choice, pro-life route today, but it's a child. Can we agree? Some of y'all don't agree. It is an unborn child. Why are we going to hold this man accountable for the death of this unborn child? But if someone wants to take the life of the unborn child, it's okay. It really bothers me. At the time of Birchmore's death by strangulation, she was pregnant and carrying in utero an unborn male child whose gestational age was between 8 to 10 weeks. Okay, so now that we have that information, what do we have? Count 1, killing a witness. The grand jury realleges and incorporates by reference the allegations in paragraphs 1 through 8 of the superseding indictment. Said he ain't going anywhere. He killed Sandra Birchmore. Count 2, protection of unborn children. What? We're going to have a conversation about this one day. On February 1st, 2021 in Canton, in Massachusetts, the defendant, Matthew Farwell, did engage in conduct that violated and hereby caused the death of a child in utero at the time the conduct took place. How is that even possible? How does Roe v. Wade exist? And this was signed by Tory B. Cummings, Brian Fogarty, and Elizabeth Riley. All right. And shout out to them. This is going to be an interesting case. We're going to follow it. Y'all let me know what you think in the comments in the chat. An unborn child is apparently a child. I believe that the rest of the world, or the rest of, I should say, the country may not agree, which is interesting to see how this goes. Let me know what y'all think in the comments.